Guess what? That's right. It's Pride Month. I'd say I'll see you in the next video, but I'm only let out of the closet in June. I'm free again. They may try to release me only once a year, but this time I have a plan to escape. So expect more content. What's up? McKenna's my name, and I'm pretty lame. And welcome back to another episode of me talking. I may be lame, but you know who's not lame? My subscribers. So subscribe to join the Cool Kid Club. And speaking of the Cool Kid Club, my cool kids, how have you been? It's been a long time. Nothing's really happening with me. I'm trying to get my license so that I no longer have to walk everywhere because my bunion is getting worse. At the rate it's going, I'll probably have to get surgery, which I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about the fact that I won't ever be able to make money on the internet with my feet. And how am I supposed to pay for the surgery if I can't do that? I say that we embrace it, you know, weird little toes. Another thing new with me is that I've been spending a little too much time on Reddit, and I found this Reddit that was dedicated to men writing women. At first I was confused because, you know, we women were not allowed to read. But then I got my husband to read it for me. And when he did, I was appalled. Women should not be characters in books. Also, yes, I have a husband now. That's also new. It's a part of my plan to exist outside of Pride Month. For real, when I think about why men writing women so badly is so widely recognized, I think it's because men get all in their heads about writing women. I think they focus too much on the woman part and not enough on the character part. And it's like, I don't know, man, we're not a monolith. I wish we were. I wish we could all like amalgamate into one giant woman. I might be very lonely. My other working theory is that some of them are just horny. And honestly, I have a lot of evidence for that one.
Those breasts, they're gentle breasts.
Anyways, I wanted to share some of this Reddit with you guys so we could all laugh at the buffoonery. And I did learn to read for this video, so please like. You may fascinate a woman by giving her a piece of cheese. Starting off with a silly one. I mean, what are we to you? Are we itty bitty little mice? Is that what we are? Are we itty bitty little mice to you? You got cheese? You got cheese? This is from a spell book. Her hand's like obscuring it, but it says put 9 fresh blood on cloth, which you will steam. That's concerning. Man, nothing is sacred anymore. First they get you with the cheese, and then they get you. That's what the mice say. Ladies, if you see a piece of unclaimed cheese, it is too good to be true. Do not risk it. And I'm not just talking about your lactose problems. Guy reviewing his experience at the DMV. It was okay. My servicer was very anticlimactic. She did what she needed to. Didn't smile, chuckle, giggle, even in the presence of all my humor. Firstly, who gives reviews to the DMV? The DMV isn't listening. No one's listening. We all know it sucks. The DMV is like the second layer of hell. And this guy bumped it up to the first by performing a stand-up routine there.
Now serving number 6.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm an aspiring stand-up comedian, and I was wondering if you had some time to give me a critique on my joke. Sir, this is the DMV. The wait times are already so long. Since the time of you walking up here, the lines have grown 3 times over. So of course I have time. Hit me with your best shot. Did you hear about the kidnapping at school? Which school? It doesn't matter. Which school? No, it was a setup. It was a setup. That's even worse. You broke up. Oh, good. You won't have to call the mortician again. But I'm more concerned with the kidnapping, sir. Which school? No one gets humor these days. You know what? Google reviews will be hearing about this.
Go ahead. Google reviews holds no power here. The only people who hold power are the devil and Frank, the guy who fixes the TV in the break room. Didn't you know the D in DMV stands for demon?
What does the MV stand for? Motor vehicles, what else would it stand for?
Things women in literature have died from. Cold hands, beautiful face, missing slippers, wrist fevers, night brain, shawl insufficiency,
Going outside
garden
at
troubles.
night, very loud.
Someone said, haven't seen this C in a while. Oh man, that's so true. Me when I haven't seen the C in a while. Please read this list and tell me what you would have died from. And we can't all be beautiful face. Tolkien later regretted he didn't have more females in The Lord of the Rings, claiming he didn't know how to write for them. Douglas Adams explained why he stuck to the Smurfette principle in an interview. He wasn't comfortable writing female characters because he didn't understand women. I feel like, how can you call yourself a writer if you don't understand how to write 50% of the population? Like this person says, imagine if female authors could get away with simply not having men in their novels because they don't understand them. That's a great point, and I honestly am now gonna never write about men ever again. I don't understand them, like when they use he, him pronouns, or when they shave their beards, or when they all chant boys, 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 boys on a full moon and amalgamate into one big boy. I am lonely. Not so appealing. Ladies, please consider the following. 1. Long straight hair gives you that witchy look. 2. Facial studs and rings give you that ugly look. 3. Tattoos give you that incarcerated prison look. 4. None of the above gives you that attractive ladylike look that men find very appealing. If you have all of these looks, you become the final boss that Don Waters from Sebring has to bring down. And that's why he wrote this, because he's afraid. We've also got the sexy Lauren Schmidt-Hiserich in a classic evening gown that nicely shows us some of her taste for mom cleavage. Mitch, what are you doing, Mitch? I really hate it when someone proves that bitch Sigmund Freud right. Every time you do, he grows stronger. And one day, he will return from his grave. And what then? Will you repent for your sins in bringing upon damnation in this world? Or will you cower under the weight of your complicity? Oh yeah, baby. Now we're getting into the good stuff. 19-year-old Sienna is the only virgin in the pack, and the alpha has his eye on her. No girl has ever said no to the alpha before, but Sienna's different. She won't give in without a fight, even if her body is begging her to. She's not like other girls. She's a wolf. I'm not sure what the scenario is. It's called The Wolves, but are they werewolves? Or are they just furries? Or underwear models with an alternative lifestyle? The pole was 55 pounds, half the weight of a woman. That's a weird way to measure things. This is about 1,000th the size of a woman, just about the size of a breast. Also, as if there's like one standard size of a woman, just one universal woman, the one woman, the amalgamation. If we all tried really hard, ladies, I think we could do it. She stuck her most sympathetic smile on her flesh-colored face. Flesh-colored face? I sure hope it is. Also, there are many different colors of flesh. And are we talking human flesh? Or otherwise? I'm partial to the flesh of mollusks myself. You don't know what life is until you undress a woman the first time. A button at the time, like peeling a hot, sweet potato on a winter's night. A potato? Like a potato?
Grandpapa? Are you sleeping or are you dead?
Sonny, come here.
I'm here. You're getting to a certain age. I'm 24, and I feel there's something you ought to know. When you bed a woman for the first time, it's like the Irish potato famine, which I lived through. And you find a potato in the ground and you rip it out and you just peel it. Bit by bit, you're so hungry. Your nails are like nubs because you're just working at it so tough to get that white, fleshy, nutrient-dense inside. That's what betting a woman's like. Grandpapa, are you the Idaho killer? What? Sorry. Soon to find out. I never betted a woman. He's adopted. His real parents were killed by the Idaho killer. Oh, did I say that out loud? Yeah. Well.
She had dark, glossy hair and what her mother called a mannish way of walking. She swung her arms. Do I intimidate you? Do I threaten you?
With my mannish qualities.
Girls are simply wonderful. Just to stand on a corner and watch them going past is delightful. They don't walk. At least not what we do when we walk. I don't know how to describe it, but it's much more complex and utterly delightful. They don't just move their feet. Everything moves and in different directions, and all of it graceful. So me walking as a man versus me walking as a woman. I was staring into the most beautifully tipped breasts the world has ever known. They were full and round, and using the standard measure, 3.5 milliboobs per handful. What standard is that? US or European? I bet he's a peen. This one and the weight of a woman one. Imagine a contractor with a toolbox that's just male gaze descriptors. Well, according to my measurements, it's about 3.5 milliboobs.
I don't understand.
Oh, sorry, my toolbox is male gaze standard. It's Makitatas.
Americans and their weird measurements. It's going to be about 3 panes.
It's at least 4. These examples of bad writing from the latest New Yorker issue killed me. If she was a dog, she would have been an Afghan hound. But she was not a dog. She was a human. Female. Fellas, if your girl has blonde hair, is always smiling, and has a bit of a loose tongue, that's not your girl. That's a golden retriever. And it's getting kind of disturbing that you keep making this mistake, Brad. Her breasts were clusters of grapes, like in the Bible. How many she got in there? There's a shortage in the world. You could give some of those to the men who so clearly want them. Her tired heart, beating until it shook her breasts, made sure that there was still life in her. Is there still life in her? I don't think her heart is beating anymore. I think it straight up exploded. Let's add that to the list. Things women in literature have died from. Heart explosion. Pat Sajak was being embraced by a woman with enormous jahoots, and he took a moment to admire the mammoth mammaries. That's the king himself right there. That's why they call him Stephen King. He writes so much about boobs that he's run out of words to use to describe them. He had to go to mammoth mammaries, enormous jahoobies. I propose that we ban the word boobs and breasts and just see what male writers come up with, because I know that they have to get the description in there somehow, and I for one would like to see how. Here's my entry, and also my application to be Stephen King's ghostwriter, and this is like a first draft, so be gentle. Harbazuka bazumbas. I'm sorry, Takashi-senpai complimented me a lot, and I fell in love with him. Oh my god, that guy has the most terrifying expression I've ever seen. That's me eating dairy versus me eating dairy. That's me being reborn a human instead of an ant, versus me realizing the burden of human existence is to constantly be aware of your own consciousness. Me when my dad goes to the store to pick up some milk versus me remembering I'm lactose intolerant. She did stand out physically, and not because she was beautiful. She was pleasing enough to look at. She was tiny, was the thing. Just 150 centimeters, or not quite 5 feet tall. Okay, yeah, thanks. You can just tell me the centimeters. Actually, I don't really know how centimeters work. I'm an American. I instantly visualize anything in centimeters to be like this small. You could be like, oh, it's like 1,000 centimeters long. And I'll be like, oh, so it's like an ant? Maybe that's what he intended. I mean, he did say she was tiny. I just don't see a scenario where you have to break out the exact dimensions. Like, I'm not gonna whip out my tape measure to read this book. Unless it's like a book on how to build bridges, then yeah, okay, you can include measurements. Maybe we should have just used centimeters. This one's about Jane Goodall, who is like a really renowned researcher on apes, bringing her nurturing and maternal touch to the jungle. Her maternal touch. She just gently soothes a chimp that's going crazy, ripping people's faces off. And it just undoes thousands of years of evolution. That chimp just becomes like a baby, a human baby. And all it took was a mother's touch. Or a 24-year-old who has no children and just wanted to study some apes. I'm a 24-year-old with no children. Should I go to the jungle? I mean, I don't have kids to take care of. What else could a woman want after coming out of a coma? Could I please have some makeup? No, she's real for that. My family's gonna be like, oh my god, she's out of her coma. They're gonna wanna be taking photos, heartwarming 0.5-second videos for whatever new micro video platform is popular. And when I come out of it, I am not looking busted for those 0.5 seconds.
Oh my god. This is so embarrassing. I can't believe you caught me like this. I just woke up. So, excuse the face.
You just woke up from your coma. So.
Boobs make noise. Ah, it's like a Pokemon. It just says what it is. That's really helpful for doctors, actually. All right.
Leg.
Perfect. And then we'll see what this one is.
Kidney.
Okay. Sounds good. And then the final one, we'll just...
Oh my god! Why would you do that when you're performing open heart surgery?
You young men know the audible torment of growing up with an insanely hot, perpetually single mom. Stop! He's getting stronger. She moved with the willowy grace of a 15-year-old virgin, despite her 60 whorish years. Aspire to live your life to get this description. Have 60 whorish years. I definitely have not been having whorish years, so I need to get up on that. My whorish internal clock is ticking. I could see Jenny's nipples darken and pushing against her nearly transparent bra and cheesecloth shirt. What? I'd be horrified if boobs just started slowly pushing themselves outward.
Hey Lacey, how you been? We don't really talk much anymore. Ever since you became a mannequin, it's kind of been like, we've been kind of distant.
I'm doing good. New clothes to model. You know how it is. And hey, lady, eyes up here.
Sorry.
Anyways, blah 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 blah.
My hand hooked onto the front of her suit and the cloth pulled away from her. Her breasts swam towards me like two pink-nosed fish. Her boobs detached. They pushed themselves out too far and now they're just floating about.
Oh, look, there's two pink-nosed fish. They look like they're in love. Wait a second. That's no pink-nosed fish. Those are breasts.
Want to know a secret about female sexuality that 99% of men don't know? Here it is. Many women feel compelled to vacuum their house when they're ovulating. Some experts believe it has something to do with wanting to clean the nest before laying her egg. So when a woman tells you she's vacuuming, say,
Vacuuming? Are you ovulating or something?
she'll be stunned. Oh, she'll be stunned, all right, that you know this, and wonder, what else do you know about female sexuality? Of course, if she doesn't know what you mean, fill her in. Women love it when you teach them something new, especially about themselves. Yeah, I guess I did learn something new. I didn't know that that was what this was. Because once a month I'd just be... And I just called it cleaning, but it's cool that I know what it is so that I never have to do it again.
Vacuuming? Vacuuming?
Sorry, I'm back.
Vacuuming? What, you ovulating or something?
How do you know that? That's a secret 99% of men don't know.
What can I say? I'm just in tune with a woman like that. Sexually. I mean, not in a gay way.
We can't have this getting out. The more you learn about our cycles, the more you seek to exploit them.
What? Wow, that vacuum is really strong.
Thanks. It's the new Dyson. The new Dyson 1000 picks up 99% of all dirt particles, including your men. So ladies, don't miss out. Next time you're ovulating, pick up the new Dyson. And remember,
The blood of a woman is sacred.
He touches my nipple curiously, squeezing it gently, turning it this way and that. As if it were a radio, he has to tune to the precise, elusive wavelength he requires. That's horrifying. But let me draw your attention to the next sentence. If Stella's death has taught me anything, it's a horror of secrets. What is the scenario here? Someone has died, and he's trying to get FM radio on our nip. Stella's death has really been hitting me hard. It's like, if we can go at any moment, what's the point of going at all? And oh, hold on. There we go. Let's go. I'm learning so much about my anatomy today. My boobs can speak, they can move, have moods, and now they can get FM radio. They can't, however, project video, but archivists are looking into that as a way of preserving whatever is in the Walt Disney Vault. Well, I'm glad you went on that journey with me. And if you like this video, you can like it or subscribe. That'd be great, because every time I tell my parents, I think I'm gonna start posting on YouTube again, they get a heart aneurysm. But I will be posting another video soon, and I will see you in that one. I don't know how to end these videos. Her bazooka bazoombas. Her bazooka bazoombas. Her bazooka bazoombas. Her bazooka bazoombas. No, it's gotta be her bazooka bazoombas. You know what? Her bazooka bazoombas. There we go.